Welcome, my friends. It's Morah Marisol covering this week's Parsha. Last week we talked about sacrifices and the special food that God requests for the sacrifices. This week's Parsha is Tzav. Can you repeat that with me? Tzav. We have Sadi and Vav. Tzav. In this week's Parsha, we are invited to the ordination of Aaron and his sons into becoming priests. What does ordination mean? It is a special public ceremony where the person being honored is officially given a new responsibility. But there was an additional step for Aaron and his sons to be ordained. They had to be consecrated for this special position. Consecrated means to be set apart. So Aaron and his sons were publicly set apart to do an important job for God. And the job was to be priests. Typically at a special ceremony, you have special food, special clothes, and in this week's Parsha, we review the food and special clothes that were provided for the ceremony. Moshe is the coordinator of this ordination event. He, with the help of Aaron and his sons, were to bring all the sacrifices, the meat, and mostly meat, and some meal offerings for the ceremony. So they were in charge of gathering all the supplies. Now, one of the supplies that they gathered was a basket of unleavened cakes. Now, for those friends who did watch last week's video, unleavened cakes is called a meal offering, and that was made with finely ground flour mixed with extra virgin olive oil and frankincense. And basically it was made into a cake, but an unleavened cake. And that was brought to the altar. So all of these pieces are what's being brought for the ceremony. Now, of course, Moses couldn't do all this by himself, so he had Aaron and his sons help him. Now, Moses asked that Aaron and his sons prepare for this particular event. It's very special, and so just like you would wear special clothes and you take a bath before you wear your special clothes, Moses also requested that Aaron and his sons prepare by taking a bath before special garments were placed on them. But before he did that, he called everyone to come and see. He called all the Israelites to come to the tent of meeting at the entrance to see what was going to happen. It was a very big deal. God had chosen Aaron and his sons to be his priests. And God told them that he wanted all the Israelite people to participate in this super special event. So what Moses did is he helped Aaron get the special clothes. I don't know if you can see this really well here. But there were 7 pieces of clothing for Aaron. He had the white tunic, a sash, a blue robe, a colorful ephod. You see all the colors? That's the ephod. And the breastplate. Here's a better picture of the breastplate. The breastplate had 12 stones. And notice that they were all different colors. And this is what Moses placed right on Aaron's chest. At the hem of the robe were alternating pomegranates and bells. But on top of the breastplate, he also put a turban, a white turban on Moses' head, on Aaron's head, and a gold plate. And the gold plate said, "Holy to the Lord." Now, the reason that he had all of these special pieces on him is because Aaron was selected to be the high priest. So he was the one in charge of the other priests. Now, after he did this, he anointed Aaron with special oil. And that oil, again, is one of God's favorite. It's olive oil. So he poured olive oil onto Aaron's head to finish that part of the dressing process. Now, after Aaron was complete, Moses helped all of Aaron's sons to also get dressed. But notice what's different about them. You see their clothing? It's different. There's in the sense that there's only 3 pieces. There's the white tunic, the sash, and a turban, because they are the priests. They are the helpers to Aaron, but they're not the high priest. So God wanted to make sure that it was very important that he was distinguished from them. But at the same time, because he is the high priest, he has a bigger responsibility. So Moses also poured oil upon each of Aaron's sons' heads to also anoint them. Now, after that was done, Moses, Aaron, and his sons prepared the meat offering and the unleavened cakes. And all of this was brought into the holy place, the tent of meeting, where Moses told Aaron and his sons they were supposed to stay there to complete the consecration process for 7 days. So they would eat and sleep in the tent of meeting for 7 days, and they were not to leave. Now, what is so special about 7? 7 is one of God's favorite numbers, right? It means it's complete. Just like Shabbos is on the 7th day of the week, and the reason that we celebrate Shabbat is because God rested from all the work that he did on that day. The priests completed their consecration process on day 7. After the 7 days were complete, the priests were ready to work in the Mishkan. They prepared, they made sure that the menorah was lit. They made sure to change the showbread. They always had incense burning, and they took care of all of the sacrifices every day. And before they would leave, they would take off their uniforms and then go home. When they came back, they would put on their uniforms, which is their priestly garments, before performing this super important work. But I have one more thought to share with you, my friends. Tomorrow is a special Shabbat. It's called Shabbat Hagadol, which means the great Shabbat, the Shabbat before Pesach. Now, what is so important about that Shabbos is to remember the anniversary of when the Israelites prepared a lamb to avoid being included in the 10th plague when they were in Egypt. Well, that's all for this week, my friends. Shabbat Shalom and Chag Sameach. See you next time. Bye.